Alright, hey athletics team, this video is going to be created specifically for you to talk a little bit about a few announcements that we have, and then also a little bit about the upcoming cycle that we're about to begin. So as most of you know, we just completed our first 4-week cycle as a gym, woohoo. So I hope that you guys are all feeling outstanding following your deload week and are chomping at the bit to get back in the gym. That's the idea, okay? If you're not feeling that way, let me know, because we may need to take a little bit of additional recovery time or look at some other factors like nutrition and sleep to see if there's something out of whack that's holding you from being fully recovered after this last week. In any case, we'll go ahead and start with an announcement quick. The first thing is that keep your eyes peeled for a Wodify tutorial. So a lot of you have been kind of experimenting in this interface that we've had since day one. It's a really great tool for not only allowing you to check and see what the workouts are going to be on a day in and day out basis, but primarily the reason that we have this is so that you can track performance. So I'm going to have a tutorial coming out here in the near future that's going to show you exactly how you can check into classes, and then once you do that, you can go ahead and enter your results for each different component of the workout. And as we've talked about in previous videos, that's very, very important for our programming, because we're asking you to increase the amount of work that you're performing week over week. So that's adding weight or adding reps. If you don't know what you did in the previous week, you're going to have a really hard time progressing with this program, because we're going to be constantly guessing as to whether you're actually increasing the amount of work that you're doing. So again, pay close attention to that. It takes literally a few seconds just to add your results after you get done with your workout every day. So please take the time to do that. It helps us as coaches, and it also helps you as the athlete make sure that you're making the progress that you want to make. Okay? So again, keep an eye out for that. The second thing we wanted to talk about today is the new cycle that we're about to go through. So again, like we've talked about in previous videos, at Athletics we program in 4-week cycles. We have a 3-week progressive overload period where we're adding workload and intensity, and then we take that 4th week to go ahead and back off of those things to kind of let your body recover. However, over those different 4-week periods, we sort of change the priorities that we have in each period. So we're looking at trying to improve different facets of our fitness. Okay? Last cycle was a little bit more of a focus on just building a base of movement with a decent amount of volume, so a high amount of volume with moderate workload, so moderate amount of weight. This cycle, this 4-week cycle, the goal is to take some of that base that we built in that last cycle, or some of the gains that we made there, and actually try and work towards manifesting those in higher levels of absolute strength. Okay, so this is going to be a basic strength cycle with some skill reinforcement. So primary goal is to get stronger. Okay, no surprise there. We try and add that into every cycle, but that's going to be our primary focus this cycle. You're going to be seeing some heavier weights than you saw last cycle. Not quite the same amount of volume, so lower rep ranges, less workload overall, but the weights are going to go up a little bit on this cycle. Okay. Skill development is going to be another key piece to this cycle. So we're going to still keep in the Olympic lifts, but what we're going to see is we're going to add in some additional agility work, some plyometric work, some jumps. We're going to continue to see some focus on some of those pieces in the Olympic lifting. And also, one thing I did want to address is that we're actually going to be implementing a little bit of CrossFit skill work into our extra credit on a week-over-week basis. So I know a lot of you guys are interested still in being good at CrossFit. We are not a CrossFit gym, as you know, but this program is very well created in order to allow you to be the best athlete you can be. And in doing that, you're going to be not only an excellent athlete, but also a pretty good CrossFitter too, if you're good at these movements. With that said, as we all know, CrossFit, in order to be good at it, you have to be good at a lot of the skills. You know, we're thinking handstand push-ups and toes to bar, Olympic lifts. Like, I think all that stuff that you can be very, very fit, but if you don't practice these pieces, you're not actually going to be that good of a CrossFitter. So what I want to make sure that we're doing is, especially during this time of year when we're so far away from the open or any other times of year that you might be thinking about competing in CrossFit, more or less. Right now, what I really want to try and do is keep the emphasis on strength and just improving our base level conditioning and our regular metabolic conditioning pieces, and save the skill training for those extra credit sessions when you're a little bit fresher. We can work on quality technique and just build workload in a couple of sets, as opposed to layering those into the workout and trying to get you to improve your skills or trying to refine those skills when you're under a high amount of fatigue or when you're really out of breath, okay? Best time to really get those skills down is when you're fresh. So that's kind of why you're gonna see some of that layering into the extra credit. It's by no means mandatory if you're not worried about competing in CrossFit anytime soon. You don't have to do it. In fact, there will be other extra credit programs for you to do, okay? Which is a little bit more aligned with what we're doing in the day-to-day programming. There's just going to be that extra available CrossFit programming if somebody wants to develop or refine their skills in CrossFit specifically, okay? So hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you have any questions on that, you can go ahead and direct message me and I'll do another post if I think it's something that everybody might have a question on, all right? The one last thing I wanted to touch on today with this new cycle is you're going to be seeing a lot of RIR in the programming. Okay, so I know we kind of had a smattering of this in the last cycle as well, and you were probably wondering what the heck that acronym meant. I probably explained it in class, but didn't do a wonderful job of trying to relay why it's so important that we use this concept or this principle. Okay, so now RIR stands for reps in reserve. All right, it's basically a way of using biofeedback to help us determine what the appropriate amount of work for that given day is to provide the stimulus that we're looking for in order to improve our fitness. Okay, so basically the way you're going to see this happen is I'm going to give you a certain amount of sets to do and a goal rep. So you're going to see, like, if we're going to do back squat, 3 sets, 3 reps in reserve with a goal of 10 reps each set. Okay, so now what this is saying is that I want you to choose a weight that allows you to get around 10 reps done in each set, okay? But each set should leave about 3 reps in the tank, if that's what I have, is 3 RIR, okay? So now, what this allows us to do is say, instead of saying, you know what, it's 3 by 10, you have to just do 10 reps each set. We're giving you more wiggle room because what we're looking for is a certain stimulus, because the reps themselves are not magic, okay? Doing 10 reps is not inherently better than any other rep number, okay? Just with a caveat there that obviously different rep ranges have different effects, but the magic is not in the reps. The magic is in how much musculature we can recruit in a given movement, all right? And actually giving you a goal of saying, hey, I want you to do as many reps as you can until you feel like you could only do 3 more reps. All right, that's going to get me a lot closer to getting you the training effect that you want to get in order to improve whatever we're trying to improve than if I say arbitrarily do 10 reps. Because at that given weight, 10 reps may be a small fraction of what you're capable of doing. You might actually be more capable of completing something like 15 to 16. Whereas somebody else, if I tell them to do 10 reps, that may be the most they could conceivably do at a given weight, okay? So instead, we like to use this form of biofeedback in reps in reserve, this concept of reps in reserve, to try and be more accurate with how we're going to go ahead and relay how many training reps that we want to do in a given workout, all right? So I'm sure I botched that and just made it more confusing than otherwise it could be, but we'll talk about it more in class this week. Just know that that's coming. Don't panic if you see it. All right, refer back to this video if you really want to be able to understand exactly why that's going on. And if you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody reacts to this next 4 weeks. Get excited.